quiet. Wicks on fire, spread so tight the stakes get higher. Institutional flow, he's the supplier. Positions held till charts retire. Data feeds, news he reads. Fibonacci master seeds. Supply demand his mind exceeds. Trades ignite like lightning speed. Stop loss tight, take profit wide. Least precision, unmatched drive. Liquidity pools, banks coincide. Retail's blind, leads the guy. Charts unfold, the stories told. Entry bold, accounts in gold. Trade by trade, the wins are sold. Market alchemy, legends mode. Whoa, 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 whoa. Lead the reason markets run. Lead the reason markets run. Markets are on.
Good afternoon. Is there anybody there? Oh my God. It doesn't rain, but it pours. You know, you have that thing where you get an update on your computer, something updates. So I had a Windows update, Streamlabs, the streaming software update, my microphone software updated, all at the same time. Obviously, nothing works. So obviously this morning when I do the members stream, that's done on Zoom. No problem. All worked on Zoom. Nothing works on Streamlabs. So yeah, sorry about that. I'm back. 25 minutes late. So the opens happened. We'll have a look at what's going on. Just to follow on from this morning, the DAX, we had a lovely, the ORB this morning on the DAX was lovely. So that was your ORB from there. I haven't even got my pen ready. Oh, bet that works. Yeah, pen works, obviously. So ORB was that this morning. Well done. You can't not make money this morning. I didn't take the ORB this morning. I got in earlier because of the gap fill. So I played the gap fill today. Should have not taken the gap fill and just carried on because this thing's done 150 ADR. It's mental. So yeah, very big moves there on the DAX. If you look at the DAX from an ADR perspective, we're 175 now actually. So I'm looking for an opportunity to short this because it's exhausted. We've done the gap fill. We've done the propulsion gap fill as well. There is still this small gap from Wednesday into Thursday last week, which isn't complete. So it may go for that, which is 200% of ADI. You can see obviously the ATR is massively high at the moment. So yeah, we've also got these huge gaps from previous week as well. So we'll see what happens. But there's your 30-minute candle just finished. It is starting to base out the DAX up here. So we've had a little bit of a reversal start. We've pulled back down. We haven't made a new high, so we've pulled back, but we also haven't made really a new low either, just about. But so if this low goes here, potentially that's your short. I'm just going to get ready for that. So yeah, I'll stop above the high. The previous daily high, which is Friday's high, is there. So obviously a retracement back in to find support there is a potential good short. That's giving you 1 to 3R. So that looks like a nice little short play. Just a correction on today's move. Don't normally trade the DAX obviously in the afternoon, but this is really extended. So I made nice money this morning. So just a quick short 0.5%. So yeah, just trading it down into there to see if we can get that short on. So let's have a quick look at what happened with the US indices as well. ORB was there, 130. That's a big range. Still not 40%. So you would have been long there. We've had 130 out of it. So that's probably a TP hit. I'm not actually trading it at the moment with the EA, but you are long break on that. Nice 3-bar bulls in control at the moment. Gap down was 123. Very small chance of the gap being filled, and it already has. There you go. So statistically, with a gap down of that size, we don't normally do that, but that was a very easy one today, wasn't it? That was a massive drop. Look at that. Really, really, really strong indices today. So, yeah, it's pushing up at the moment. Your 30-minute TPO is in. So that is your 30-minute time price opportunity candle. Often we will sweep the high of that as a rejection and then come back down and retest the low of it, which is the open. So we'll see where we go. We might get a breakout. Let's just see what the other indices have done. Nothing much on the Dow, nothing on the S&P either. So the NASDAQ is the only thing that's actually made any progress. So upside targets on the NASDAQ today, you want to be looking at the previous session high from Friday as your initial target. You've got the gap fill there, which didn't get done or from Thursday into Friday's Globex session, and then push up into propulsion, which is what they've been selling. So that's your upside target today. Probably find resistance up there somewhere if we get there. But I've shorted the DAX. So obviously immediately turns back the other way. It's a very 175 extension, but I mean, it's a very, very strong bull market in it. So a bit of a risky trade, that one, but nice profit on the morning, so I don't care. Afternoon, everybody. Johan, Chris. Did you exit with a profit from the gold trade? No. So gold I got out of. But yeah, you would have done if you held it. I couldn't hold it. Not through this exhaustion. It was too much. So yeah, obviously the day I got out, which was here. Yeah. That exhaustion move, I would have taken me to stupid drawdown. So I had an aggressive on here, and the aggressive got stopped out. So I was out, and obviously 2 days later, the collapse. So yeah, just bad timing. But as I said last week, that is what happens with position trading. You get exhaustion at the end of moves. The trouble is, exhaustion comes at the time that you're in your highest level of drawdown. You can't hold it through these exhaustion moves. You have to pull the plug. And if it was an FX pair, I probably would have held it because I wouldn't have been in drawdown so quickly on it. But the rate of movement that we've had on this gold is obviously unprecedented. You know, I keep going on about the biggest days in history. That was until last month, the biggest day we've had on gold, after the biggest run-up we've ever had on gold, which was followed by the biggest run-up we've ever had on gold, followed by 2 of the biggest days ever on gold, followed by the biggest day ever on gold, followed by the biggest day ever on gold, followed by a day that is the same size as the second biggest day ever on gold. You can't do any of this. You can't trade any of this normally because it's completely irrational and it's completely abnormal. You just have to get out. So you look at the ATR figures. You know, this is we've never been anywhere like this before. We'd never been anywhere like this before, and now we are somewhere else. You know, you can't hold this rationally. You can hold it gambling, but it's not going to be a sustainable approach long term. And we've also rejected today this big move here, which is equivalent to this. We've rejected the lot with a V-shaped recovery so far today. So this is looking like downside exhaustion to me, like it wants to carry on. But where the hell is it going to go, and how fast is it going to get there if this is just a pullback continuation move? I said this morning in the live room, it took a month to do that. And that is the biggest move we've ever seen, pretty much on anything, bar Bitcoin. And it took 48 hours to completely reverse the entire thing. It took a month to do that, an entire month. And that month was 3 times bigger than any month we've ever seen, sort of thing. Yeah. And it did the lot in 48 hours. This is just nuts. It's completely madness. And that's just small, isn't it? You compare that to silver. Silver's even bigger. Yeah. This move on silver in 3 days, 48,000 points. ADR is 1,100. It's just nuts. Craziness. It's never, what do you do with it? But, is it over? I don't know. I took a long on oil this morning in the members stream because of this huge gap down. So gap plays are lovely. I love gap plays. We got a big gap play this morning. Oil collapsed down by, as you can see, 125, 150% of ADR. There's no news to support this. So it continued down. I looked at it this morning and looked like we were putting in a 3-bar reversal. So I got in long here. I'm just looking for that gap fill to be done at some point this week or next week. But that's not normal either for oil. Yeah, we don't get gaps that big normally in oil. So there's a lot of weird stuff going on at the moment that you can't really put your finger on why it's happening. But with ATRs at the levels they're at, anything you take at the moment, as long as it's risk adjusted, yeah, so you're putting your stops at lows, the ATR is kind of irrelevant, isn't it? We're looking for price action to get to a level. I'm looking for price action to get there. If it's going to move at the normal rates we're used to, it's probably going to take a week or two. The fact that it took less than 24 hours to do that doesn't mean it's not going to take 2 weeks to get back there, because this is not normal. The gold move is not normal. If you look at gold and silver now, if gold goes back to its normal ATRs, which it takes a week to do, yeah, we'll be moving up there in approximately 5 weeks' time. It took 24 hours to drop, but it would normally take 5 weeks to do that sort of movement. Yeah, from there to there is less than that distance, and that took a month and a half. So, if you're going to long this now, assuming that we're going new leg on gold, you've got to adjust your risk accordingly. Yeah, you can't get in with normal size on this. You've got to get in with size adjusted for this nutty ATR that we're seeing at the moment. $10. ATR is $10. This is silver, obviously, but doesn't matter what it is, silver or gold. It's all the same stuff. ATR is $218 every 4 hours at the moment. To move $218 used to take a week. Now it does it every 4 hours. Just balmy, innit? But markets will stay irrational longer than you can stay rational. I don't see any reason why this couldn't just do that within this week. Why not? It did it last week. I've no idea. Banks taking profits. We discuss this. I mean, if this is a profit take, it's a big one, obviously. Yeah. And that is how you take profit. You take it fast. And the reason it does this is because people see it starting. The clue was there. The clue was very obvious. Yeah, I said on the day that this happened, that is an exhaustion move. That will correct. And it did. But I would never expect it to do that. I would expect it to come down for a week, not 24 hours, undo the entire lot. But, the market was so long. It was so scared. This move from there to there on your P&L in a bank will be millions. Suddenly your P&L drops by a few million quid, and then you see it move down another few million quid. You're going to hit the button to get out of that as fast as you can. What does that mean? You become a seller. When you become a seller, everyone else sees their P&L drop, which sees their P&L drop, which sees their P&L drop, and it just cascades, climbing up the stairs, falling down the elevator shaft. It happens on the yen all the time, but never happens on gold. But then this never happens on gold. So yeah, quite possibly a profit take, which is the worrying thing, isn't it? So if that's a profit take, where the hell's the next leg going? Got to go to $6,000, isn't it? We've done 5.5. Yeah, 12 months ago, we were trading at 2,000. No one on their right mind would say, do you know what? We're going to be trading at 6,000 this time next year. No one would ever say that. We are. Look at it. This is normal. This is just nuts. This is bricks here. Where's October? August, September, October. So this is bricks. That's when China, Brazil, Russia, and everyone said, you know what? Let's start transacting not in the dollar on gold. That's why it happened. But what's the new normal? This is the thing. Everyone, this is what Spanx are scrabbling around for now. What is the new normal from trading metals? They don't know, do they? They're in and out. People are going to buy and sell it when it's a good price. Right now, this is a good price. This is a really good price. It's $1,000 cheaper than it was on Friday or Thursday last week. Yeah, it's $1,000 cheaper than it was on Thursday. Now's a good time to buy it, isn't it? But you are somebody that got into this a year ago, they'll be going, there's no way I'm buying that. I'm still in it. You know, they're looking to take profit. I have no idea. I heard the CME increased margin requirements on Friday, quite possibly. I don't trade futures, but yeah, that would be normal. And also, the exchange was halted last week in London as well. The London Metal Exchange halted trading because it's like, you know, they've got safeguards in place. Like, what's that? That's not right. Something's wrong. So, you know, this all stems from the old issues we had in the CME where the algos started taking over and all of a sudden the NASDAQ dropped something ridiculous in a day. And they were like, why did that happen? It's like, oh, an algo started selling and it didn't stop. It's like, well, why did our algos keep buying it? We programmed them to do that. It's like, all right, we'll put a safeguard in. So if it gets anywhere near 10% of that in the future, we won't let it happen anymore. Yeah, same thing. But that was allowed, wasn't it? Somehow this was allowed to do a move of that magnitude when normally it does this. Something's not right, is it? And oil, you know, that's not right either. You know, gap of that size and then a move. So we've had a move of 125 ADR after gapping down to 25 ADR or 125. You know, not right, is it? So take advantage of it. Right. So NASDAQ TP hit. I'm saying that I'm not in it, but if you are in it, you've hit TP. I've also stopped out of the DAX. I'm 90% sure because if that's done that, the DAX will have done the same. Yeah. So I'll be out of that DAX. 200 ADR on the DAX. So watch this 225 area here. Yeah. When we get that gap fill done. So that little gap there. So you're looking at 24,900 roughly. Obviously this is CFD, so the actual gap on futures will be different, but 24,882 roughly, somewhere around there. Maybe another hour or two, probably a good sell. I'll stay out of it until then. I said this morning in the members stream, there's 3 positions you can have in the market: long, short and flat. This week, flat. I'm not getting into any new position trades. I'm not getting into anything exciting. I will take stuff I see that looks good, but using stops because this market is just totally irrational. If you look at the news that we've got coming up this week, we've got those PMI numbers, which have come out now. Let's have a look at what the PMIs were. Bullish, 52.6. So that will be bullish US, or should be bullish US. Yeah. So bullish US. That's only this candle here though. So yeah, this week is a week to steer clear. We've got interest rates, we've got unemployment figures, we've got PMIs which lead into CPI, which leads into interest rates. We've got 2 interest rate decisions from Europe. We've got non-farm payroll and unemployment and everything on Friday. So this week, every single day, you've either got a CPI number, a PMI number, or an interest rate decision or an unemployment rate decision. So there's massive catalysts all week. On top of all this nuts that we're seeing at the moment, the market is going to be really, really jittery because there's a lot of banks, institutions, and pension funds who will have capital across some of these markets which are going mental, that they're seeing huge fluctuations in. So there will be a lot of fear in the market and a lot of caution right now. See what the fear and greed index is up to. It was still greedy the other day when I looked at it, but I'm not even sure we've had one today or Friday. Did we get one Friday? I didn't see it. No. Didn't get one, did we? Oh, there we go. Yeah, so crypto, extreme fear. This is good indicator of indices as well. But look at this. We're still up here. We were up here. Where will we be now? I don't know. They're all greedy because they're taking profit on gold. So ADRs and RSIs, there's a lot of ADRs. We looked at this in the member stream this morning. By the time the London bell had rung, gold and silver had already exceeded its monthly ranges. Yeah. So by the time we opened in London, we'd already done an entire month's worth of movement. And we'd already exceeded 175% of your normal weekly ranges. So none of this is going to make any sense at all at the moment. I said last week, when you get these types of moves, it doesn't matter what indicator you're using, whether you're using support and resistance, supply and demand, or anything. None of it's going to work. Yeah, this is nuts. Everything is going wherever the hell it wants to go based on pure volume of orders, and there is no logic to it. Bollinger Bands aren't going to work. RSI is not going to work. Nothing's going to work. So you just have to look at getting into trades and make sure that you have a positive R. So as long as you're getting into something, when you hit that button, this is bigger than 2. Take it if you want to. But if you keep a positive R, at some point, 1 or 2 of those is going to stick. It's going to hit the targets and it's going to get back your losses. So worst case scenario is you won't lose a load of money. You start doing the normal stuff where you're going with 1.2s and 1.5s or 1-to-1 risk reward ratios to get quick scalps in, you're going to get slaughtered. Doesn't matter what time frame you're on, you can scalp on any time frame. Hourly time frame, you can take a quick scalp for an hour as well. A scalp is a short-term movement. 1 candle, 2 candles, 3 candles, whatever it is. Doesn't matter what time frame it's on, in and out fast. But make sure you've got positive risk reward ratios on anything you're doing. It's the only way you're going to stay alive when things are completely irrational, because your indicators are useless. Look at this move that we're seeing on the NASDAQ here. Yeah, this is not normal. Yeah, we're at almost 200% of ADR. Yeah, market's only been open for less than an hour. Not normal. Nothing is normal at the moment. So you just get in. It'll either go parabolic and make you money, but don't try and predict where it's going to go. Don't try and predict where it's going to stop. Mean reversion traders in this type of market get destroyed, because every time you see something look like it might be turning, it's just pulling back for a couple of minutes, taking a breath before it continues. So these are the types of trends which are very, very difficult to trade. 1-bar pullbacks. I've said it before. Trying to trade 1-bar pullbacks, very, very difficult, because everything in your body says I need to do market structure, which is what we see 90% of the time. You don't see it in parabolic markets. So ORB, breakout strategies, they will kill it. They will absolutely kill it at the moment. Mean reversion strategies, going to struggle. With ATRs like this as well, if you get in with the normal sizes without adjusting them for the new ATRs, they will absolutely kill you. Just be very, very careful out there this week. As I said, going flat for a week, take a week off, take a holiday, go and do some research, go and do some training in the back tester, do something else. Best week to do it, because we need this to calm down. When this gets back to normal, i.e. what we have seen. Well, the new normal last month was bigger than normal, wasn't it? But if we at least get back to what we were doing before last Thursday, that's some kind of normality, and the market will start to figure out what to do, and everything will start getting back into normal ranges. But, everything's going to be affected by this, especially the dollar. Obviously, gold is priced in dollar for some transactions, obviously not for bricks at the moment. So, horn oils all over the place. But your RSI extensions as well. There's a lot of hourly RSIs getting extended today. US dollar Swiss extended to the upside. So you got potential shorts there coming into play, but big propulsion gaps up here that have got to be done first as well before we come down and do these. So it might go further. But these hourly RSIs are all starting to come into play now. But look at the speed of the movement. There's no pullbacks, is there, in this? You've got an hour inside bar and then straight away back up. So just be careful at the minute. RSI extensions, obviously, you run the risk of being embedded up here. And just remember, the dollar is still not worth buying. Yeah. There's nothing come out of America that has said to the market, you know what, we're going to make the dollar great. Yeah. Probably not best to look at the Canadian dollar. But we're down at the lowest point we've ever been on the US dollar Swiss. So US dollar versus safe haven shot to bits and getting worse at a rate of knots. So lovely long, but I'd much rather be doing that at the moment on the dollar. Same with obviously everything else. Buying euro against the dollar. Lovely pullback. But stuff will work, yeah. It's just be prepared to get squeezed a bit if you're staying in it, position trading. I'd much rather just sit and wait for it to calm down. Next week, I think some shenanigans are afoot. Yep. Shenanigans are always afoot. People go on about manipulation in the markets all the time. The markets are manipulated, yeah. There is a thing called a market maker. They make a market by manipulating it. So people go, oh, markets are manipulated. Yes, it's by design. It's normal. But then you get things which are abnormal. And this is where the market makers lose control. Yeah. You're not making a market there. You're panicking. So markets are always manipulated. That's what banks and institutions do. They drive price to levels they want, and then they take profit on those moves. And it creates market structure for us to follow. It creates propulsion gaps for us to retest. So you know where the markets are going and where the markets have been because they leave footprints for us to trade. And this is all done via manipulation. Yeah. If you've got 100 million to dump into this market today, you can make it go up and down. You can manipulate it. So if you've got one desk that is commercial that says I've got 200 million short to do today, you'll have a speculative desk going, should we trade short today? And they'll go, yeah, okay, I'll short it. When are you going to hit the button? Now. Bang. Okay, I'll get out. That's how it all works in banks. This is why banks never fail to make money, because one person in the bank knows what the move is coming next because they make the move. Can't lose. We're the ones that sit here and try and guess where they're going next. That's why most traders fail, because we haven't got a clue. True. That's what it is. That's all we got. Right. Have a look at the NASDAQ. So coming up to the previous session high on the NAS, yesterday's high. We opened below today. So previous session high, 31%. Yeah, I mean, this is, again, just shows you statistically, this isn't something that normally happens. Testing yesterday's high when we've opened below the previous low. Again, statistically, not something that we will tend to achieve. Previous session high, 21% chance. It's the same level today. So again, these gap fills as well. Very little chance of the gap fills being done, but they were blown straight through without stopping. So not really something you want to get involved in if you're not already in it, because the only way you're going to make money is by getting these one bar pullbacks. And if you're trying to mean revert against moves this strong, you're likely to get run over very, very quick. So again, ORBs are going to be great in this type of market. Short term, obviously, until it calms down. But Anybody got any pairs they want to look at specifically? Let me know. I went through everything this morning in the members stream. So I have kind of covered everything in the member stream, but if you weren't in there, if there's anything you want to look at, I can have a look at it. But again, we've also got the other thing about the yen at the minute. That intervention on the yen, at the moment, we're not sure if it is an intervention. They said it isn't. I mean, come on. Someone did something, didn't they? So that could well have been a profit take move, and we're going to continue back up. So if we hit that 159 level, you need to be careful because there is a high probability of a yen intervention coming at that level. We did last time. Yeah. So previous intervention there and there. We are here. It's not a coincidence that these two moves were the same as the intervention level. That was the big intervention, the biggest one they've ever done there, which is here. So we're within 4 ADR of potentially a large move on the yen. Something like that, about 4 ADR, which we can hit. If there's a strong week, we could hit that in a week, more likely within the next couple of weeks. So watch this 158, 159 level, because if it fails, you're looking at 161, 162 as potentially the next one. Yeah, look at the size of the intervention. We looked at that intervention when it happened and we went, holy crap, they've never done anything that big before. It just did again. Again there, look. That was your warning shot before the intervention move. That looks like a big warning shot. Very similar. That's what I reckon anyway. But you're going to need a strong dollar to get there, which is, at the minute, tough. Then some good news. Aussie US. So Aussie US started its pullback on Thursday, along with gold, obviously. We did 2.5 ADR to the downside, and we've pulled back into this accumulation. I still think there's more downside on this. The problem we've got with the Australian dollar is on tomorrow morning, they're going to increase interest rates. So this interest rate increase will be the first interest rate increase for a long time. When was the last? I mean, the run up. It's over a year, isn't it? We'd have to go back way more than that, wouldn't we? We haven't raised interest rates for 2023 was when we kind of got to terminus, wasn't it? Yeah, July 23. So we stabilized there. November 23, we were stabilized properly at 4.35, sorry. And then we've been dropping interest rates. Everybody else in developed nations has been dropping interest rates. 2 of them have got to where they want to be and are stable. The rest of us are trying to get to where we want to be, 2% interest rates and inflation. They are stuck and they are putting theirs up again. So it's all going wrong in Australia, but that interest rate increase is good for the Aussie normally. This is not a normal market. This is a commodity pair that does an awful lot of gold export. Gold price is doing that. So gold price doing that and interest rates going up is bullish for the Australian dollar. So you want to try and get out. But equally, tomorrow morning, we could see that come down if that gold price does continue to drop and we're not pulling back in our next rally. So, no idea. This is not normal. Like I say, you can't look at anything normally. You look back at history with any indicator and go, 9 times out of 10, this happens. There's always one that it doesn't. And at the moment, it could well be that one. It's certainly come down nicely, isn't it? So your 4-hour reversal retest was lovely. These propulsion gaps, this high, we've got a monthly there. There's nothing really from that high there. Propulsion, accumulation. This is the accumulation we've bounced at. So if we break through this level here, I think we'll flush straight down into this propulsion gap, and that's where we'll find support. About 200 ADR to the downside. I think it's got on it if the news drives it in the right direction. Don't forget, with this Australian dollar, there is a lot more profit take available. You've just got the 3-bar reversal on it. Look, push, pause, pull. It's just the start of a potential pullback into the 24, which is typically what we do with market structure. So if we're going to trend, if we're not going to trend, we'll just come back down anyway, won't we? But look at that. Again, these levels, like I said, I've been looking at the RSI levels in here, going, never seen that before, never seen that before, never seen that before, never said never seen that before so many times in my life. It's just the levels that we're seeing on some of this stuff at the minute is just nuts. It's all gone nuts. Swiss yen. So Swiss yen's the same as the rest of the yens. It's more of a safe haven instrument. So when we get safe haven runs, you get ranges. As you can see, we've had ranges on this when we've had yen strength. So yen and Swiss have powered up together. So there is money coming into these from gold at the moment, because where else are you going to put it? If you've got to take it out of gold, you've got to stick it somewhere while you're storing it up ready. So there's a nice, what looked like a double top went in on Friday. A very nice rejection off of that. And we've made a lower high. So although it did look like obviously we were going to put a market structure in to come down and test these areas as well. So it's looking good at the moment. If you're in short from here, or even from here, but it's also looking range bound. So I would be looking to get out if we got back down here. If you're short on this, somewhere in this area, you want to be exiting those shorts because you're likely to get a bounce out of this. That'll be extended by the time it gets there. It is also making higher lows. The trendline junkies would be wanting to buy it at 125 ADR, which coincides with the previous monthly high from December. So again, we tested that level a few times. So push that into the future. That looks like a good buy area as well. So New Zealand dollar Swiss. Wow, that's out the highs, isn't it? Yeah, so that double top's just failed. Monthly double top. That's January's high, which is December's high as well. Range low's gone in at that weekly level. We're out the highs, so you'd be looking for a pullback. Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't really be in this. You shouldn't be short on this at the moment. There's no reason to be short on that. Might have been in short from there, but you'd have been scaled out on that. You got in there, you're out. You got in here, you're out. There's nothing on it at the moment. There's no signals. It's getting ready, getting set up for shorts now. Yeah. Looks good for shorts. So it's a short setup, that one. Okay, so we've got a little bit of a rollover on the S&P and the NASDAQ. So this propulsion, this whole thing, so this from there until there is one big propulsion gap. They're buying up the highs of that again. Look. So you got a 2-bar pullback this time instead of a 1-bar. Again, I just can't take this. I can't take that as a pullback long. I want it down here. Can't trade this. I'm useless at trading these types of parabolic moves. This is why I love ORB, because ORB just gets you in and you just ride it. There's no reason to do anything else. when it does this. But trying to get in once it's gone is very, very, very difficult. You've got pull, pause, potential push going in here. We've got 3 minutes left on this candle. If this ends up bullish, that's a good little buy there. Try and get a scalp for 5 or 10 minutes out of it. I think I got in my DAX got in my DAX a little bit too soon. So you got outside bar followed by lower lows and lower highs at the minute. So potentially there was a short there, but against all of this propulsion, look. Just don't really want to try and pick the top in this. It's just huge, isn't it? So that's that resistance that I put in. So there's your gap fill. So somewhere around here, bear in mind the futures market will have slightly different prices, slightly different levels. Somewhere around here, you are looking for a gap fill completion from last week. I would say not yet. More room to the upside, isn't it? What's the time? 3:30. Blimey. Yeah, so this is looking like a good little buy. So if you look at that little leg we had there, essentially you got a good decent move all the way up there. So looking for that flag break long. It's so extended. It's really hard to take when it's this extended. But that's 1 to 3R. Got 1 minute to go on that candle, but that's definitely a nice continuation pattern. Pretty much the same price action on the DAX, just a bit more rejection. CAD Swiss 125 ADR. Still pushing, so weakness in the Swiss franc at the moment. Or is that strength in the Canadian? Weakness in the Swissy. Everything running against the Swiss franc at the moment. So they're coming out of the Swiss. Potentially back into gold, aren't they? Don't trust it. I do not trust a long from here. I just physically can't see 6,000 on it. It just doesn't make logical sense, does it? But can it? And how quick? 2 days. If you look at the distance we've got to go from where we are now to 6,000, which is 132,000. It basically took an entire month to get that distance last time it moved that amount of room. And it's taken 48 hours to do that. So is it now going to take another month to do that? Are we going to reset back down to normal ATRs? Or are we going to stay at these ATRs and be up there by the end of this week? You just can't call it, can you? It's just no way of predicting where this thing's going to go and whether these ATRs are going to stay at these levels. If they are, you'll be up here next week or this week. But how do you make that call? No precedent for it, is there? You can't go and look at previous history and go, yeah, that looks logical, because it never happened. Right. There's your 3-bar, well, say 3-bar reversals or reversal pattern, but in this case, it would be a continuation pattern. Straight back up into the highs. So buying that high there, is a decent trade idea. Using a pending order at the highs, tighten up underneath that propulsion gap. That's a nice little trade for a pending order. So if we are going to just continue and rally, then look at the size of that move and extrapolate that into the future. That's probably the best target to aim for today, but just bear in mind you are way beyond normal ADRs today. Just watch. This is the sort of week, just watch. You can trade it. It's very difficult to trade it. Higher time frames, I talked about this morning as well. If you are getting killed on your normal time frames, literally just move up one and everything becomes smooth. Yeah, so we've had a bearish candlestick. There's nothing bullish at the minute. If you look at this right now on a 15-minute time frame, you're looking at bear exhaustion beyond ADR with a second bear exhaustion going in. It's a sell. Yeah, but you look at it on the 5-minute chart, you're going to see 3 times the price action, 3 times the signal, 3 times the confusion. So when you're unsure about anything, if you go up one time frame and you get a completely different answer, stay out. That's looking massively bearish. So from this time frame, I'm looking at that short and going, that looks good. Where'd you trade it down to? In previous close, probably. Or if we just went for a test of the moving average, the session moving average, you've got a nice 2.5 hour short. Every time frame is going to tell you a totally different story. On the hourly time frame, you're not even thinking about shorts. You're trying to find a pullback long. 4-hour time frame, obviously, just parabolic. Happy New Year, Brian. Took January off, back to it today. I'd take the rest of this week off if I were you, Brian. You took January off. I don't know whether you call it January or February, but obviously you know what's going on with gold. That's going on with gold. After having that go on with gold. So, yeah. Today, I'm sitting on my hands going, I want to see this thing calm down. I want to see these things calm down. I want to see everything calm down, basically, until I really get involved in anything much. Everything I'm doing in position trading is unwinding or unwound, which is all great. So all the big extensions and squeezes that we've had in aggressive drawdown controls have started to play out and get out of some of these positions. But yeah, this is a mad market at the moment. Oil is struggling as well. The oil long is stalling out for the last 2 hours. Took this one this morning as a gap fill. The dump is on. Is it though? You sure this isn't a pullback? It's pulled back. Yeah, you in a trend you pull back to the 24 moving average. Did that this morning. Buyers are stepping in now. Next leg up. This is what I said. I can't see. I haven't got no idea. So I'm just not interested. You can pick a side. You're either going long to 6,000 or you are correcting back down to the 200. You got to pick a side. Is the dollar going to be strong or weak? Probably weak. So if the dollar's going to be weak, that's the most likely course of action. But seeing as a lot of transactions now are not happening in the dollar on gold, does it really matter? Everything's changed. Everything has changed to do with gold in the last month. This, as an investment vehicle, for the last 12 months, has been a gold mine. Excuse the pun. Yeah. But go and look at that, and go and look at that, and then go and look at Bitcoin. How fast it came down as well. This is irrational, isn't it? This is not normal. These ATRs are not normal. So, I don't know. But I had somebody contact me on Friday and said they wanted an EA to trade gold. And I said to them, why do you want an EA to trade gold? And he said, basically, because everybody trades gold. I said, have you seen what's happened to gold in the last 48 hours? Do you think that there is any back test on the planet on any time frame in the last 100 years you can look at that will give you any idea how to build an EA to trade gold today? Go and do something else. Not trying to trade gold. Yeah, there's no parallel you can draw in the past that says the way to do this is this. This is just not normal. So I said, yeah, he had a strategy ready for gold, but obviously it had been back tested on previous price action. Yeah, the last year. He said the last year this has worked really, really well. I said, sure it has. It's a long only strategy on gold. You'd be hard pushed to make it not work until Thursday. Now you're dead. Every single trade you've taken for 2 days has been a loser. What's it done to the P&L you built up over that time? Because it came down 1,000 times harder than it went up. So how many trades did it take there? And how much money did it lose there? Because it's been used to making entries there and exits there and entries there and exits there, entry there and exit there. I'm pretty sure all of that profit's disappeared. Can't help you. But yeah, go off and get it coded somewhere else. Come back to me if it works and I'll buy it from you. But I'm not going to use it until it's actually normal. So US dollar Swiss, that was really good news for the dollar today. Market liked it. So bullish PMIs by quite a substantial margin there. Your normal differential on this is 0.99. And we've got a 4.1. Yeah. So normal differential is 1. We got a 4.1. So deviation on forecast or differential on forecast is 4 times larger than normal. So therefore, obviously, the market is thinking, yeah, I want to be buying a dollar today. Trump hasn't spoken yet today, has he, properly? So got that to come. Venezuelan oil is probably going to be on the agenda today, I'd imagine. So watch these propulsion gaps, basically. Big sell-off, potentially going to be acting as resistance on this one. Not extended yet for a short. US dollar Swiss is nicely extended now. Again, same propulsion gaps, that whole move there. Potentially for shorts, much clearer on the 4 hour. Coming into all these sellers here. So yeah, nice big push, but not necessarily the direction we're going. And don't forget, non-farm payroll week this week. So we've got jolts tomorrow, non-farm employment change and the services PMIs, which are obviously potentially going to be massively bullish as well, followed by unemployment claims, and then obviously we go into the unemployment rate and non-farm. Massive opportunities for that bullish move today to be completely undone. But again, might come out all bullish. We'll wait and see. Send him over to Mumba. He'll have a strategy. Yeah. I wonder how many signal services have gone bust in the last 48 hours. I don't follow any signal services, but you know, they all trade gold, don't they? It's one of those things. When I get asked for building EAs, people ask me to build EAs for them. It's always gold. I had somebody last week. They wanted a gold EA to do with divergence with silver. Good strategy. Not now. Yeah. Good strategy normally, but not now. It's not going to work. So, it's one of those things. There are so many signal services out there that trade gold because everybody wants to trade gold for some reason. It's always been the nemesis of me. It's never, ever, ever got on with it. And I don't know many people that do, to be honest. All the prop traders, why are they all trading futures on indices? Why aren't they trading gold? Yeah, people that actually make money, they don't actually make money on gold, I don't think. But everyone wants to trade it. And I can understand the last year. But It's always been the case, isn't it? But God, there's people that bought the pullback on this. But there was loads of them. We've had one there. We've had one there. They'll be buying the crap out of it. Dead. Literally liquidated. Every time it dropped, buy it, buy it, buy it, buy it. And God, how many times would you have bought that? There's all ones on 5 and 15 minutes as well, doesn't it? So, long signal, probably a little bit of a long signal. There's definitely a long signal. Just keep buying it. Mind you, it's 24 hours. If they had any sense, they would have stopped, wouldn't they? And gone, what was that? I'll stop for a bit. Oh, yes, I'm glad I stopped. And today they'll be going, yeah, I'm really glad I stopped. So, which is it going to do? Someone out there is giving a signal for that. One of them. They're going to be right. This is the thing, isn't it, with signal providers, yeah? 50% of them will be right. Because the guys that are going, we're in a bear market on gold now, are going to be right. The guys that are going, we're in a bull market on gold now, are going to be wrong if it does that. But it could do the other thing. So some signal somewhere is going to make a killing, which means that they will be the ones that make all the money. When they get run over, the other ones will be making all the money because it can only go up or go down. So there's always a signal service, which is either long or short. Depending on which time you pick it, you will make money. So if it's in a nice trend to the upside, they'll be buying it and buying it and buying it. And you'll be sitting there going, this is the best thing since sliced bread. I'm going to give up my job. And then all of a sudden, you give it the whole lot back. Someone will be making lots of money out of signals right now. Hype trading, don't hear anything until the move. And then everyone wants to get on it. Yeah. This is the great thing about hindsight, isn't it? This is why I like using US dollar CAD ADR as well. This is why I like using indicators that mark condition, because it's just signals are very discretionary. Conditions are conditions. Did it or didn't it? It's an if then. It's a binary, yes or no. The signal could be one of a billion things, and all signal services work on signals. And signals can be manipulated very easily. The person that came to me with that gold strategy last week, I had loads of questions about clarification in it as well, because the strategy that he gave me was you could do this, or this when that happens. It was like, so which is it? It was one of those three. So you have a look at it and you kind of gauge which one of those is the best one to do. So it's totally discretionary. So how do you build an automated system about discretion? You can't. Yeah. But the person that's selling the system will only go on the ones that work. And then they'll go, well, you shouldn't have taken that one because of X, Y, and Z. Remember, we've got roughly one of those three things will happen. So that's the one you should have taken. And that's the one that goes on my P&L. And someone gave me I've got the EA actually. Someone gave me an EA to build for them. This one, right? They published on their website a P&L. Yeah, it's a very simple strategy. Put it in visual mode, you can see what it does. It buys fib levels and sells fib levels up to round numbers. Yeah. So it takes trades basically based on fib levels. So these grey lines are triggers to get in and out of the market. So entry, stop loss. If you're short, entry, stop loss. And you target the big round number, which is the yellow lines. Yeah. So we basically get in long here to there with a stop there. And we get in short there to there with a stop there. Yeah. So Fibonacci ratios within big round numbers in line with trend. Very, very simple. You can't get it wrong. There is no discretion involved anywhere whatsoever, you would think. Yeah. So they publish their P&L and all the trades they've taken over the years. I automate the strategy 100% to their rule set, totally different P&L. And when the person went back and compared the two, they were like, there's a load of these that they've classed as TPs, which actually have stopped out. You can see they've stopped out when the EA trades them. But all the ones which came within a gnat's whisker of stopping out, funny enough, they didn't get stopped out on those. Their P&L has a 77% strike rate or 72% or something. Yeah. When I did it, the strike rate was about 52%, at 48%, I think it was. Yeah. Signal service. That's what they are. All of it. They're rubbish. That's what the real P&L does. We managed to tweak it actually to make it profitable. So you can manipulate this strategy to make it profitable, but all we're doing is curve fitting. So it's not really profitable. And obviously this worked last year. I'll be really interested to see what their P&L is. I've got it on email. I might go and have a look at their website and have a look at their P&L, see what happened over the last 48 hours. Be an interesting one. But yeah, it holds its own. And, it's not a bad strategy. It does hold its own. It doesn't make a loss. It comes out roughly break even. But obviously it comes out roughly break even because it's got roughly a 50% strike rate with roughly a 1.05 risk reward ratio. Always going to come out break even, isn't it? Unless you can get a 77% strike rate, which means that maybe half the losses you got, you just put them to one side. Good. So yeah, it does well. Yeah, when we're in a parabolic trend, like a really strong ADR day, it will make money constantly because it will keep going through those fib levels, to those targets, through those fib levels, to those targets. It's like the ORB strategy. But it's got a negative, well, it hasn't got a negative R, it's got an equal R. So obviously what happens is when it's not trending, it just gives the lot back. But the difference with this strategy in something like ORB is ORB has an edge because it goes parabolic more per week than it doesn't. Whereas this doesn't really do that, unfortunately. Close though, it's not a bad strategy. These are the ones I like to work with. So when someone comes to me with a strategy that gives me a flat line with no optimization, these are great starting points to work from because you've got something that doesn't lose money. If you've got something that doesn't lose money, you've got an opportunity to remove loss by using filters like moving averages or condition filters like oscillators. If you can apply a condition filter to a strategy that is break even, you can eliminate loss. If you can eliminate 10% of that loss, you've suddenly got a profitable P&L curve. They're really good strategies. And this is one of those. But it only runs on gold. It doesn't work on any other symbol, which tells me it was curve fit in the first place. Because otherwise, if it's a repeating pattern, it should repeat on everything, shouldn't it? Theory. There you go. Not bad, is it? So we got a 1.12 profit factor. It made $100 out of a 10,000 account with a 42.5% strike rate because it's got a 1.05R return. Doesn't make money, does it? Theirs had a 77% strike rate. The automated version of their strategy has got a 42% strike rate. Don't believe the hype. Okay, Nasdaq's pulling back into the session moving average. So potentially you're looking at a flag break, 50% retracement here. If it's going to continue today, this is a decent area to buy it. Want to stop that's got enough room to make a decent, give it a little bit of room to wiggle, but it's pulling back nicely. Good rejection there. That's candle 18. Candle 18 is significant in the fact that typically by the time you put the 1.5 hour mark in, which is candle 18, you've found the high or the low of the session. So potentially we just found high of session, you should be shorting it, or that is your low of session and you should be looking for longs. We're going to break up, but who knows? One of those two things are going to happen. Right, I'm going to have to leave it there because I was on late, unfortunately, today because of my technical problems. So back on Friday morning for the DAX session. Massive week of news this week. So obviously we were going to just keep watching gold and just see when that calms down. It's certainly not calming down at the moment. ATR today has dropped, but it increased. The first half of the day today, ATR actually went up on the last 48 hours, which obviously has been parabolic. So it is starting to come down. But the question is, do you buy the reversal, or should you be selling the flag? One of those you've got to be looking at right now. So you can pick one, but I don't know which, because this is just out of the ballpark, isn't it? So we'll see what happens with this week. If it's all calmed down towards the end of the week, then I'll probably start to look to get into more positions. ORB I've got turned off this week as well. I am still taking trades manually at the opens like I did on the DAX this morning. But your ORBs at the moment are probably going to work. But equally, because of the size of these moves, the ones that you don't get working are really going to stop you out. So I've decided just to sit back this week until we've got a little bit more of normality and calmness, which might be the wrong thing to do. But right now, it's very difficult to call, isn't it? So we will see where we go. So have a good week. I'll be back on Friday morning. If there's anything you need, I'll be in Discord or Telegram. Just keep the powder dry as much as you can so that you don't get stung this week. And if you are getting into gold, either way, good luck. There's some decent money to be made on this if you can get the call right on it. But that's the hard part, isn't it? There's nothing normal about this job. No, there never has been, really, is there? Like they always say, the market can stay irrational longer than you can stay liquid. That's very, very true. And every time you say it can't go up any further, it just goes up further. Not normal, is it? Yeah, everything we do is based on historical movement. Normal. And then it does something abnormal, and we just don't know what to do. So when you get something this abnormal, history has told me to sit on my hands for a week and wait for normality to return, because typically, it's just impossible to read what is going to happen. And there is a good chance that it will just kind of peter out like that and go nowhere, because the market's probably going, I don't know what to do. So we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. Let's just get what we can done and sit around and wait. And obviously we've got the Orange Wonder making snap decisions about stuff as well as massive news week. So, it's one of those weeks where you just got to look at it and go, you know what, I'll come back next week. So that's what I'm doing. But anyway, I'll be watching, and I will take some trades if I see some decent gaps, but it's got to be something that's logically going to make a decent amount of money with a positive R. Like I said, use positive R. Make sure every trade you get into has got a good reason to go somewhere and it's got a good distance to make you money on it. Otherwise, trying to just read naked price action at the moment, I think is going to be very, very difficult this week. Higher time frames are going to help you. Yeah, very good reversal pattern there. All right, so I'll be back on Friday. Other than that, have a good week.
Click, clack, charts attack, candlesticks, they spark the track. Lead move silent, market crack, profit stack, no turning back. Opening range, that's the game. Breakout hits, never the same. Algorithms play, but he rewires the frame. Banks whisper his name. Flipping forex, indices flex, numbers dance. What's coming next? Green lights flash, P&L stretch. Risk managed, he never sweats. West fact buzzing, traders peep. Lessons deep, no time to sleep. Market's a beast, Lee's got the leash. Feast at the feast, his game's elite. Market structures is domain. Leads the king, they know his name. Breakout sharp, he fuels the flame. Trading charts is not a game. Pip by pip, he stacking high. Mean reversion, banks comply. Leads the reason markets run. Leads the reason markets run. Candles lit, wicks on fire, spread so tight the stakes get higher. Institutional flow, he's the supplier. Positions held till charts retire. Data feeds, news he reads, Fibonacci maps the seeds. Supply demand is mine. mind exceeds. Trades ignite like lightning speed. Stop loss tight, take profit wide. Least precision, unmatched drive. Liquidity pools, banks coincide. Retail's blind, leads the guide. Charts unfold, the stories told. Entry bold, accounts in gold. Trade by trade, the wins are sold. Market alchemy, legends mode. Whoa, 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 whoa. Lead the reason markets run.
Digital sheen, open and arranged. His weapon so keen. He's the structured trader, a market machine. Bank moves, he mimics, he plays their game. Near a fashion, glory is his claim to fame. Market structure king. Watch him do his thing. Pips and points, the profit swing. Trading like the banks, he's in control. Leads the master filling his bankroll. Leads the master filling his bankroll. His mind's a map of supply and demand, turning charts to gold with a steady hand. Forex flows like rivers in his plan. Bases bow to the market man. Break out at the open, strategy's tight. Position for the swing, he wins the fight. Risk is measured, the balance precise. Leads on the rise, he rolls the market structure king. Watch him do his thing. Pips and points, the profit sing. Trading like the banks, he's in control. Leads the master filling his bankroll. Lead the master filling his bankroll.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Leads on the charts. Yeah, watching the flow, candles rise up. Then they drop down low. Pips in his pocket, he's stacking it tall. Market structure trader, he's got it all. Open and range, it's the key to the game. Breakout moves, profits calling his name. Name, 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 name. Market structure leads the king. Trading waves, let the profits sing. Mean reversion, he's locked and loaded. Like the banks, his strategy's coded. Coded, coded, coded. Just don't lie, he reads every line. Forex indexes, he's making it shine. Positions held with precision and grace. He's in control, it's his trading space. Open and range, it's the start of the to show he's a pro. Yeah, he's running the flow. Market structure leads the king. Trading waves, let the profits sing. Mean reversion, he's locked and loaded. Like the banks, his strategy's coded, 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 coded. His strategy's coded, coded, He walks the charts like a shadow king. Candlesticks dance where the prophets sing. Pivots and breakouts, his gospel's clear. Mean reversion whispers what no one hears. Opening range, he strikes the key position right where the games will be. Market wizardly. Every tech bend says decree. Forex waves obey the sea. Bow down to the market structure trader. Indices tremble when his cursor flies. Fibonacci lines cut through the lies. Algorithms falter at his stare. While rookies gamble, he's prepared. Risk is locked and the stops are tight. His strategy hunts through the dead of night. Market wizardly. Every trade a prophecy. Stacks his wins for all to see. The throne belongs to the market structure trader. Trader. Oh. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. 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 Oh. Yeah. Click, clack, charts attack, candlesticks, they spark the track. Lead move silent, market crack, profit stack, no turning back. Opening range, that's the game. Breakout hits, never the same. Algorithms play, but he rewires the frame. Banks whisper his name. Flipping forex, indices flex, numbers dance. What's coming next? Green lights flash, P&L stretch. Risk managed, he never sweats. West fact buzz and traders peep. Lessons deep, no time to sleep. Market's a beast, league got the leash. Feast at the feast, his game's elite. Market structures his domain. Leads the king, they know his name. Breakout sharp, he fuels the flame. Trading charts is not a game. Pip by pip, he stacking high. Mean reversion, banks comply. Leads the reason markets run. Leads the reason markets run. Lead the reason markets run. Candles lit, wicks on fire, spread so tight the stakes get higher. Institutional flow, he's the supplier. Positions held till charts retire. Data feeds, news he reads, Fibonacci maps the seeds. Supply demand is mine exceeds. Trades ignite like lightning speed. Stop loss tight, take profit wide. Least precision, unmatched drive. Liquidity pools, banks coincide. Retail's blind, leads the guide. Charts unfold, the stories told. Entry bold, accounts in gold. Trade by trade, the wins are sold. Market alchemy, legends mode. Whoa, 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 whoa. Lead the reason markets run. Lead the reason markets run. Lead the reason markets run.
Lee wakes at dawn to a glowing screen. Charts and candles, the digital sheen. Open in range, his weapon so keen. He's the structured trader, a market machine. Bank moves, he mimics, he plays their game. Near a version, glory is his claim to fame. Market structure king. Watch him do his thing. Pips and points, the profit sing. Trading like the banks, he's in control. Leaves the master filling his bankroll. Leaves the master filling his bankroll. His mind's a map of supply and demand, turning charts to gold with a steady hand. Forex flows like rivers in his plan. Daisies bow to the market man. Break out at the open, the strategy's tight. Position for the swing, he wins the fight. Risk is measured, the balance precise. Lee's on the rise, he rolls the market structure king. Watch him do his thing. Pips and points, the profit sing. Trading like the banks, he's in control. Leaves the master filling his bankroll. Leave the master filling his bankroll.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Leads on the charts. Yeah, watching the flow, candles rise up. Then they drop down low. Pips in his pocket, he's stacking it tall. Market structure trader, he's got it all.